What's going on, y'all? I'm here to talk about the buffs and changes I've made to the Wigglytuff line for my ROM hack. Pokemon Scrambled Scarlet, if you've never heard of this before and this is your first video of mine, shout out to you, and I'm talking to you specifically, whoever is new here. I really do appreciate you clicking on the video. I think you should subscribe and check out my other videos after this one. It'll be really interesting, and hopefully you stick around. Uh, but before I can get into any of the cool buffs and changes that I have, I want to have a quick disclaimer for people if you're new to pause the video. Don't click off of it, just pause it and then check out the description. There is a lot of much needed context about how this ROM hack works and my approach for everything. So that'll give you some background information if this is the first of my videos you're watching. Uh, yeah, Wigglytuff, super cool changes overall. Pretty fitting. I mean, some people might not see the huge power immediately, but then when you look at the list of mons that get huge power in the real games, it's Diggersby and Diggersby, Mega Mawile, and Jesus Azumarill. And I mean, even Mawile, you can argue has like the ears going on, I guess, but it's probably more of a balancing reason they give it to Mawile. But all of them are definitely like little guys with like long ears, and then specifically Azumarill and Diggersby are rabbits, right? There's somebody in the comments can leave it down below. I know there's some like Japanese name lore. I know it's Muscle Man in Japanese and other shit. I know there's some lore for why Bunnymon specifically are getting huge power. I don't know it well enough to repeat it, and also don't want to waste time in the video. But yes, that's why they have huge power. Fluffy, incredibly fitting ability. I don't need to explain it too much, I hope, but for people who don't no, I mean if you read Wigglytuff's Pokedex, it's all about how it's fur, it's rich, fluffy fur. It covers its body. It's literally just Control F, fluffy and fur, like rich, fluffy fur. Fine, the fur feels so good. Very fine fur, rich, fluffy fur, extremely fine, pleasant fur. It's all about the fur. All right. The only other thing that the Dex is talking about for the most part is how their body is like a balloon. They inflate, deflate, which is also a really cool way that I can see huge power working. I mean, it doesn't really need too much logic because fucking Azumarill does. I mean, I guess Azumarill kind of does that. Diggersby definitely doesn't, but I guess he's supposed to be super strong. So you can argue it. It's similar vibes as like Azumarill, but even more so with the inflation. That they kind of puff themselves up to make them bigger and I guess therefore deal more physical damage. So that's pretty cool. 50 base attack with huge power, if you don't know, is equivalent to roughly base 150. I think it's like 149 or something if you be exact. So that's really good, of course. However, you are giving up the bulk from Fluffy. Can I just say, this thing is absurdly fat. So, as you can see on screen, I haven't said this yet somehow, 2 minutes in, Jesus. Jigglypuff now evolves into Screamtail or Wigglytuff. So here's a flash of Screamtail's changes. I will of course explain this much more in depth in their video, which you can check out after this one. If you click, it won't be up. It'll be up 15 minutes from now. So watch this one first, then watch that one, or you can watch that one later. But that'll explain more in depth about why Screamtail is what it is. Don't think about it right now. I mean, you do have to think about it in the regard that you're going to be comparing the two of these mons, right? Screamtail is much faster, but it's much less bulky overall. I mean, it's bulkier when it's running huge power, but without huge power, it's much. I mean, even like Wigglytuff, specialty wise, is much tankier than Screamtail. And then with Fluffy, I mean, dude, I can like 140, 65. Like, I overdid it a bit, but I really want people to not just immediately be like, oh, I want Screamtail. It's a paradox. It's higher stats. It's better. Like, no, Wigglytuff is fucking great, man. So yes, it is a little bit. I mean, it's reasonable. It's only contact moves. It's not all physical moves. Also, I'm fine with super fat mons, to be honest. I would say the only real broken thing in game is like things that can consistently like 6-0 teams or sweep teams without really much thought or effort put into it. That's where I start to define things as broken. If it's just taking, like, that's fine. I'm fine with it, unless it's like absurdly to where you don't have to think ever and it 1v1s everything, but that's not the case here, obviously. Although it can, yes, definitely 1v1 a lot of things with its bulk. And it does have heal moves, in Wish and Moonlight. Wish is especially good because it's got 140 base HP, so you can Wish and then slow Baton Pass out. I also gave them access to Parting Shot. It's a very limited distribution move in this game. Obviously not as limited as Vanilla, but it's much more limited than it was in Sweltering Sun. I do actually try to make Parting Shot make sense for the Mon now. And in Wigglytuff's case, I would say it definitely does fit that they're like this. I mean, more so Jigglypuff is about singing and making sound, but Wigglytuff as well. They inflate and they kind of make big sounds like that. And then they're also like known for being kind of assholes, especially in like the anime. You get Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff in the anime acting like assholes, and they get super like kind of aggressive or sassy or whatever. So I think, and again, the whole sound mon vibes. I think Parting Shot definitely fits. Probably give it to most sound Pokemon, to be honest, or sound-based Pokemon. I do, and it fits Wigglytuff's personality very well, so that's why I gave it to him. And it's obviously a very good tool. Baton Pass being negative priority is also nice. It's like teleport basically in that regard, ignoring the stat boosting or stat passing effect, of course. So that's great with Wish and Fluffy. Amplifier, I should probably cover Amplifier. I haven't covered that yet. So that comes from Punk Rock. It's a 30% boost. Also, I guess I should really just start off immediately by talking about the buffs for Wigglytuff, like over Screamtail, but I'll probably do that in the Screamtail video. Yeah, I'll compare them more in the Screamtail video. So if you want me to compare the two better, I'll do that in that one. All right. But you can't really tell. I mean, the typing is very different. I'll talk about it in the Screamtail one. Here, though, maybe I'll talk about it here, actually. Yeah, hold back. That's a great, incredible tool. So you've also got stab fake out when you evolve. So that's incredible with huge power and in general, but specifically with huge power, that's great. You've also got befuddle, which is fairy type shadow sneak. So that's very good. So you can use Fake Out into Befuddle with huge power to get some kills on like faster things. You have the bulk to switch in easily. So that's very, very nice. You've also got Sucker Punch, and if you don't want to click Befuddle for whatever reason, type synergy stuff, maybe it's weak to dark or it resists fairy, whatever it is. Because it's only 5 points weaker than Stab Befuddle. No, it's actually stronger than Stab Befuddle now, because they're 45, not 50 base power like in Sweltering. So yeah, it's 68 power versus 70 Sucker Punch. So they're basically the same power. Of course, Sucker Punch has the big downside versus AI, where you have to make sure that they're clicking an offensive move that turn. But that's something that's always worth considering. Yeah, great utility on these guys overall. Even Jigglypuff. So you might be wondering. I'll talk about that in the Screamtail video, the level of evolution. But Jigglypuff is great. I mean, this thing, you could, if you want to, you could keep fucking a Violet Jigglypuff. Hell yeah. I mean, it doesn't die. 115, 45, 95 with a Violet is like astronomical levels of bulk. It's very, very, very tanky. Which is good. And then, of course, huge power 30 attack is equivalent to roughly base 90. And then Wigglybuff's base 15, I believe it's like, you would think it's only 45, but the math gets weird when it's low stats. I think it's like late 60s, maybe 70 attack? I think it's 70 attack, if I remember correctly. Man, I'm not even gonna fucking talk about it right now. It's only for level 18, up until level 18 anyways. You can fact check me. I think it's 70, roughly 70 base attack, and then 90 or 95 or something for. I think 95 actually for base 30, if I remember my math correctly. And then base 50 goes up to 150. So yeah, very, very strong on the physical side. Of course, Amplifier gives you that special boost on the special attacks. You've got your reliable Boom Burst. Again, keep in mind it's only 120 base power. I'm using air quotes for only. And then it's 150 with Amplifier, and then you've got other sound moves like Alluring Voice. I mean, you can see them all on screen. They're all underlined, every single sound move. Some weird ones are Thunder and Aeroblast. I think it's cool for specific stuff like Toxtricity and Noivern to get those, but also just its coverage on this guy. Wigglytuff's whole thing is inflating, and then it's almost like a Kirby-esque thing, right? It like blows the wind or whatever. So I think that's cool for Wigglytuff as a nice little coverage option. Also, just to give Amplifier some more usage, because it is like, I mean, it's definitely like the most niche of the 3 ability slots, but it's still good, especially with Quick Claw, or because keep in mind it's versus AI, right? So you're not always going to want that physical defense boost from Fluffy. You're not always going to want to take less from physical attacks. For certain boss fights, you might need your Wigglytuff just to 1v1 a special attacker, and in that case, you can use Huge Power or Amplifier. Obviously something like Huge Power Double Edge or Giga Impact is stronger than Amplifier Boom Burst, but those moves have drawbacks, while Boom Burst does not. And then, of course, the special attack, special defense stat of whatever is in front of you might be lower, So depending on what you're trying to kill with a move, you can change from Amplifier to Huge Power for the boosting ability. And then, of course, Fluffy is great. I don't need to explain why that's good. It's just good. Holdback, incredible, unique tool that Screamtail does not get. So that's something that they have over Screamtail, which I'll compare more in a bit, but they're much bulkier than Screamtail overall, especially once you consider Fluffy. I mean, I really, dude, 140, 65 Fluffy, it's fucking wild, dude. It's really, really tanky. As they should be. I think it's cool. Yeah, Fake Out's great. All this, fun priority stuff that Screamtail doesn't get as well. Obviously, it still gets like Huge Power, Sucker Punch and shit, but it's just, it's obviously Huge Power is also a lot better in some regards, because, I would say just having that holdback is great. Having that Fake Out into holdback, into Befuddle, or just, dude, it goes so crazy. Like, you can bulk up and then hold back, get an extra attack boost, and then start clicking Befuddle, your Fairy type Shadow Sneak a bunch. So that's super great. You've got your Amplifier coverage and your stabs on Amplifier, Alluring Voice, especially earlier on, that's even better. Alluring Voice becomes 104 base power, Psychic Noise becomes 110 base power, Disarming Voice early on, and Harmonize are both 72 base power. No, that's 20% boost from Sweltering. It's 30% now, so that's going to be what? 80? 83? God damn, I don't have it hot linked. Why don't I usually have it hot linked? Alright, I'll just go here. have a fire. I should have just control left. All right, it is 78. Okay, I can't do math sometimes. 78. So 78 power. I mean, that's very, Jesus, I keep mixing up the sheets because I move them around. All right, 78 base power early on. You know, also guaranteed attack and special attack drop, same as chilling water. So those are all, and dismal cry. Those all do the same thing. So those are all great. Of course, the stab ones are even better, but mover learner, you can teach whatever you want to whenever you need it, the coverage, etc. You got other good utility like Encore and Disable, and obviously the healing moves are great. Especially more so earlier on, but even in general they're good just to use. Saying is obviously really nice. It's well, not obviously, actually, it's, if you don't know this stuff about this ROM hack, it's with wide lens, Sing won't miss anymore, and it always lasts for 2 turns, so you can use that to get a, like, you could like switch in, take a hit, Sing, wide lens, and you could like try some belly drum sweep crap. I don't like belly drum, I don't like sweeping in general, but it's there for flavor. It makes sense on them. Same reason, you know, Azumarill has it. It's level 65, so it's the very end of the game, but obviously it goes crazy with holdback for that guaranteed flinch to cheese Quick Claw. And then you can click Befuddle and everything as well, which also cheeses Quick Claw if they died at +6 huge power Befuddle, which they very well may. Especially if you're running a boosting item, if you're able to get off a belly drum safely with and be able to run a boosting item, which can happen, especially if you debuff, but then you're risking crits, so it's not really that safe actually. In general, you're going to be risking a lot of crits. You got to do it on the right situation. Parasong is great for Titan Pokemon and in general, but mostly Titan Pokemon because the AI will switch out of Parasong. But for Titan Pokemon, it's a great cheese option for all the Titan boss fights. Double Edge, obviously very strong Giga Impact, is physical normal type Draco Meteor. Hyper Beam is special Draco Meteor, normal type, so those are great. Soul Crush is fairy type Wicked Blow. That can't be used twice in a row, which is more of a nerf for like faster offensive Pokemon, like faster like Sweeper, you know, or Scarf type Pokemon. Mostly the choice Scarf spam. That's what the main nerf is. In Wigglytuff's case, it doesn't really matter much. I mean, it could matter in some context, but overall, it's not a huge change. So it's basically just a strong physical fairy move. Play Rough is also very strong, 100 base power, 100% accurate. It does deal minor recoil, 20% recoil, but in general, that's very easy to play around in game, especially if you have 140 base HP or 115 base HP. You know, you're taking very, very little recoil. So, yeah, and then if you don't like taking recoil at all, you've got Hoodwink, which is 80 base power, 100% accurate. It also steals items, which is a kind of a cool little effect. It comes from Covet, so that's pretty cool. Overall, I mean, very versatile, very tanky. And then as for Deflate is also a cool little option, you know, full heal, priority heal move. Niche, but with Mover Learner, it's very good. It's nice, especially with like stockpile stuff. If you want to try like a slower type of set or whatever. Holdback, incredibly cheesy, very strong. Free flinch, free attack boost, even a free accuracy boost. So you could use Holdback into like Sing. In theory, you could do that. I don't think they get any inaccurate physical moves though. They're all special ones like Fire Blast and shit. Yeah, all the physical moves are 100% accurate. So, Supercell Slam, I guess. So yeah, Terra Electric. If you pulled Terra Electric, bros, it's over. Hold back into Supercell Slam. It's gamer time. That'd be fucking funny as hell. Yeah. I don't know what else to say really, other than now that I can compare them. I mean, again, super fat. Screamtail. Frailer when you don't count Fluffy, but not that it's frail. 115, 99, 115 is very tanky still. It is stronger especially, but weaker physically, which I think is cool. So mostly it's weaker physically because of huge power, right? Because 99, 111 speed with 50 attack, huge power is like absurdly broken. But 45 is a bit more reasonable. Still very strong. I believe 45 attack with huge power is roughly 135-ish. Somebody can fact check me in the comments if you want to, but I am 99% sure it's in that range, which is not, you know, 111 speed, 135 attack. Nothing groundbreaking by the hack standards. Is it good? Yes. Is it insane? No. Which is good because I want to still encourage the other abilities and stuff. But yes, huge power is great. With Moonbrew Learner, you've got tons of great strong physical moves. I'll talk more about Screamtail and of course why they're even this typing in that video, so check that out after this one. But yeah, Screamtail's fun, obviously. Both of them are very fun, but I think I don't know which one I prefer. They're both really fun and cool. Wigglytuff is so fucking fat. I love that cheesy holdback. You've got so many cool options with it. And that fluffy bulk really cannot be understated. And just that 140 HP is so huge. But that's Bidef. So definitely tank here. Jesus, I'm so sorry. I fucking choked on myself. What am I trying to say? Wigglytuff. Oh, the normal typing. Yeah, normal typing is huge. Rhyme in this ROM hack will be really cheesy, one of the cheesiest boss fights in the game because it's a double battle and other stuff, which you'll see once I get the trainers, but she'll be very cheesy. So having that immunity to her is incredible. And sweltering ghost immunity is good. And here it's like actually like really good. Like, I would even, if you want, for example, if you are certain that you want Screamtail, I would even argue keeping Jigglypuff until you beat Rhyme is honestly maybe worth it, depending on your matchup on Teamlocked. Of course, if you have other options, then you're good. But if you have like no other normal type on your team, dude, I would actually keep Jigglypuff, because otherwise, I don't know, she'll be definitely difficult. Should also throw Follow Me on these guys for Rhyme too. I think giving Follow Me to normal types for Rhyme is a really cool. For some normal types, it's really cool. So let me throw that on at, I guess, level 3. I don't know. Sure. Let me also write that down so I don't forget. Follow Me, level 3, Jiggly. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty cool with Rhyme for that double battle, because she's one of the very few in the game. Yeah, overall, super fun, super tanky. Again, definitely worth using over Screamtail, despite what the stats might make you think, or the speed, or whatever. I know people are still going to be stupid, and they're still going to be like, oh, well, it's faster, so it's better, or it's stronger, so it's better. You know, it's whatever. I mean, it's higher, stat total is higher, so it's better. That's the best one. In terms of like arguments that don't make any sense. But yeah, people are still going to think that at face value, just because of, yeah, that's how people are sometimes. But yeah, thank you for listening. Shout out to you who made it to the end. There's a couple other cool things I would like to talk about. I do want to not understate how good Holdback is. It's really, really good. It's exclusive for a reason. It's a very, very strong move. I might have to end up pushing it later in levels. I just liked it being a little bit earlier because, I don't know, let Wigglytuff cook, you know, it's cool because they're kind of getting overshadowed by the Screamtail stuff. So I think it's cool to let Wigglytuff cook. So yeah, if you made it to the end, shout out to you, and I'll be back for more. Check out the Screamtail video after this one. Peace.